everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute since I dropped the video, but we're not gonna get too much into that. Today I want to talk to you guys about spirituality. I did dabble in spirituality once upon a time ago, and I still do it occasionally. Like, I still meditate, I still read, I still continue on some of the practices, but I've noticed that there is a lot of controversy over what spirituality is and what it isn't, or if spirituality is good or if spirituality is bad. So for some, I know spirituality started in 2020. That's when it really got popular, is during quarantine days. You know, we were all stuck on TikTok looking for something new to do. I remember it being I remember seeing a lot of meditation, you know, people telling us to wake up, open our eyes, start to meditate, start to eat right, start to do shadow work, internal work, just get better with ourselves and do the internal work that we're not doing, that we're mostly channeling into our external world. Now, the real question, is spirituality good or is spirituality bad? So I want you to watch this TikTok of what this woman believes that spirituality is.
Spirituality, nobody can teach it to you. You need to get the fundamentals of any books, any spiritual system. You can get the fundamentals and then look at inside of you and then determine how you are going to use the fundamental principles to improve your life. But nobody can tell you, you must pray every Friday, you must do this every Saturday, you must do that every Sunday. No, because what is good for you is not necessarily what I need. You may need to go into yourself and meditate 100 times a day. And even the same person will not need it the same way all the time. You, in certain circumstances, you need to be meditating and finding all your forces, gathering all your forces continuously certain days. And then other days you may not even think about it. It doesn't mean you don't pray. Because everything you say, if you're living your own life, if you are who you are, and you know who you are, and you live working towards realizing your mission in life.
I totally agree with what this lady is saying, because I feel like that's exactly how it was for me. Like, I listened to some people sent me off, and some people, helped. But I really feel like you have to look at what the spiritual system is and what the spiritual fundamentals that are being provided to you, and take it in and reflect it on how you're gonna work with yourself internally. Nobody, like the lady said, nobody can teach it to you but yourself. And I feel like when I was practicing spirituality, I taught myself most of what I know of today. Nobody was telling me you have to meditate every day. Nobody was telling me that I need to heal for those past traumas. No one was telling me that the reason why you're not happy is because something inside of you is preventing you to be happy. I learned that all on my own, and it took me a minute to really understand what my spiritual journey was trying to show me. And what it was trying to show me is that you can't fix things externally, but you have to fix it internally as well. I know a lot of people who tend to lean towards spirituality come from a broken home. That could mean so many things. You can come from so many places and so many circumstances, but what I know is that a broken home is traumatizing for most people. You build all these traumatic moments and memories, and they sit with you, and you never really heal from them. And you don't really know how to heal from them, and nobody's telling you how to heal from them. It's more of an internal way of healing. I know there's a lot of controversy on TikTok, Instagram, even the politicians on wokeness and spirituality and having a higher consciousness. And I feel like that controversy comes into place when people spread these false lies about spirituality. I know I seen one dude called Von Tuka. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he told us that he was supposed to be a very spiritual person, on his A game. He said he used to get visions, his ancestors used to talk to him, yada, yada, yada. But he told us that the best way that we're going to really unlock our full potential and to get superpowers and all this other crap is to stare at the sun. And we did that. And you know what happened? We burnt a sun ring in our retinas. So I don't recommend listening to everybody. I know also there is some such thing as spiritual psychosis. people go through these hallucinations and paranoia and fear and these other symptoms because while they're on their spiritual journey, they're believing all of this nonsense that people is putting out on TikTok. Like, people are saying that when you awake, you're gonna meet your ancestors, I've heard you're gonna meet aliens. I've heard you're gonna go to the astral world and meet other entities. I've heard conspiracy theories about how the government has locked our DNA, how they're trying to control us. I've just heard all of this mumbo jumbo, and it was and I feel like I've experienced spiritual psychosis because me already being in the mental position that I was in and trying to, heal from it with spirituality. And then all of this false knowledge is colliding. So I used to be scared. I used to be paranoid. I used to believe that stuff was happening, that stuff really wasn't happening. And it took me to step back from spirituality to, be back on the right path with spirituality. But I really feel like spirituality is internal healing. I don't feel like it's nothing more than that. I don't feel like it's something you can replace religion with. No, I don't feel like that. And I don't feel like the sources that are being put out there are accurate. I feel like, if anything, it's making us more mentally sick. Now, even some of the people who went through the spiritual psychosis even admitted, like in 2024, 2025, that they've experienced it too, and they had to talk to people about it. But they must have experienced it severely, because when I experienced it, I was only feeling a lot of fear, paranoia. I really wasn't having hallucinations. I wasn't seeing anybody. I wasn't experiencing all the symptoms. I was just really afraid that somebody was going to come hurt me, or somebody was going to come kidnap me, or somebody was going to hurt my family, or I was just really afraid of somebody coming for me. But like I said, once I took that step back, I realized that I was safe. I was in a safe place. I really felt like the fear stemmed from trauma I was already experiencing, that I have ignored, that I had now brought to the light, that was now causing me fear because I never healed from it. I don't feel like practicing spirituality gave me spiritual psychosis. I really feel like it was the trauma and all the false information on spirituality that was giving me spiritual psychosis. Do not believe everybody. Everybody is not trying to help you. People are trying to use you for views. They're trying to use you for clout. Some people just spread false information for whatever reason. They're spreading false information. So I really recommend that you do find your own resources, preferably, reliable articles, books, just people who are skilled and are known in these expertise, because you can't just believe a 10-second TikTok. Not everybody is a reliable source, so I would definitely recommend doing your own research. That's some of the bad things about spirituality that I know, but there are also good things about spirituality. Like, when I started, my main thing that I did was meditate. And let me tell you, meditation changed my life. I'm a type of person whose thoughts move at rapid speeds. Like, it jumps from this thought, it jumps from that thought, it loops around back to this thought. That's just how my mind works. But once I started to meditate, all those thoughts in my head got silent. I was able to see what was in front of me. I had clarity, I had abundance, and I was enlightened. Like, I knew exactly what I wanted and how I was gonna do it. When it comes to meditation, you have to find the right frequencies, but you can also do a guided meditation to help you learn how to meditate. But there's 741 frequencies, there's 528 frequencies, I'm here looking at my phone because I don't remember them, but there's 963 frequencies, and they all are apparently supposed to target a specific chakra in you. Like I said, you want to do your own research. You just don't want to believe what people are telling you. But when I used to meditate, I did guided meditations. I would listen by myself. There's this man called Dr. Joe Dispenza that, you know, talks about what I'm talking about now. He's really skilled in spirituality. I actually have his book right here, Becoming Supernatural, by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's filled with like so many facts on spirituality. He also even shows you the science behind it. You know, it's not just mumbo jumbo. It's actually really detailed, well written, well researched. But he has some frequencies for purchase, and I bought one for $20 and I was not dissatisfied. I mean, it felt like, you know, the frequency was going on the back of my skull, just caressing my skull. But there are other free ones, like it's this man called the Infinite Cup on Pandora, and I like his frequencies too. That's the first dude like that I trusted with spiritual TikTok, because he lives off the grid. Like, this man literally built a house, grows his own food, collects his own water. You know, he does a lot with the spirituality, and his spirituality never gave me a negative vibe like he was lying to me, or that he was, you know, doing it for his own benefit. But he has his own, hold on, let me focus. He has a Pandora list for free that you can check out. He has meditation music for your root chakra, your crown chakra, anything that you can think of. Your third eye activation, anything you can think of that's with spirituality. Your third eye activation. He has all the frequencies. He was very helpful during my spiritual journey. He was after like I took a step back from spirituality, he was the only person that I looked at. So I do recommend him, and I will be putting the people I recommend in my bio. Meditation, yeah, meditation was a key component of my spiritual growth. It did help me, you know, heal from a lot and grow as a person. I also really got into crystals, not in the way you think, but like crystals to protect my energy. Like, I have this rose quartz right here. It says big as my head. I did have some miniature ones that I used to put on each of my chakra points, like my third eye, throat, all the way down to my root chakra. And as I was meditating, I could literally feel the vibrations and the good vibes during meditation. So I do recommend crystals as well with your meditation. And for them to, like, you know, reclaim their energy, you have to leave them out in the sun to charge. I also had a crystal necklace like that I wore that kept my energy to me. I don't know if you guys are empathic or not, but empathic people usually, you know, feel others people's energy, and that can be draining for us because we're already dealing with our own energy as it is. And I had this crystal that helped keep my energy to myself and help other people keep their energy to themselves. So definitely do your research on it and see what best works for you when you are getting into crystals and meditation. Next, I want to talk about astral projection. Let me tell you, I'm not a fan of astral projection. I don't know if y'all seen the movie Insidious, but that's what astral projection give me. And I remember like the spiritual TikTok used to be talking about how when you meditate too long, you go to the astral world, or you can astral project and engage with other entities. I'm not a fan of that. Me personally, if you want to astral project, do your research on it, but I was never a fan of it. I did it once, and I had this vivid experience of it, of like me seeing myself from past to future, and I don't know, it freaked me out a lot, so I never did it again. I did it like once, and I did a guided one, and yeah, that was the end of that chapter. I prefer just, you know, meditating with my frequencies, clearing my mind, you know, clearing out a space for new thoughts and new experience for myself. Also, for the people who don't know when they should be on a spiritual journey, I feel like you should start a spiritual journey when you're experiencing cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you're at war with yourself, meaning like your morals and values don't add up with your actions. that I was experiencing that heavy before I started my spirituality. Like, I would feel bad for doing something that I know was wrong and that I knew I shouldn't be doing, yet I still continued to do the action. And once I hit rock bottom and there was nowhere to go but up, I noticed that the reason why I did a lot of it is because I was going through stuff internally. I guess I developed it from seeing people, hearing people say something and then doing other things. You know, that's how a lot of your trauma starts. You see someone that you're really close with, no, you hear someone that you're really close with saying one thing and doing the other. I know sometimes you see that on TikTok when they say you have a spiritual awakening, your third eye is opening. I feel like a spiritual awakening is when you realize your full potential in this world. Because a lot of people on spiritual TikTok is so obsessed with the internal world and fantasy world. But when we die, we're going to have plenty of time to experience those worlds. We're in the physical world to have an experience for a reason. So why am I so focused on another world where I barely know much about my external world as it is? I just really feel like when you do have a spiritual awakening, you experiencing your full potential, what you can do, what you can say, what you can create of your life. You're not stuck in that pattern, that traumatic, negative, bad energy pattern that you're stuck in. You know, you have a choice to be better. It's just that, are you going to choose that choice to become better? Some people do and some people don't. It's all about how much you can take. And me, I couldn't take much. So that breaking point came real fast. I don't know whether spirituality is good or bad. For me, sometimes it was bad and sometimes it was good. It was bad when I was listening to people other than myself, but oh, it looked like my camera wasn't. It was bad when I was taking advice from people who knew nothing about spirituality, but then it became good when I was taking advice from people like, you know, Dr. Joe Dispenza and the Infinite Cup, like people who really dabble in this stuff, not just people looking for 10, you know, likes, views, and followers. You want to find a trustable, reliable source. Another thing I would recommend staying away from is witchcraft. Anything that it gives witchcraft vibes. I say this because we're protecting our energy, not inviting darkness and demons and bad energy into our life. I know I've seen a lot of crazy stuff on Spiritual Witch TikTok, like of people, you know, doing love spells on people, and then people like burning sage and playing with what are those things called? Those cards? I think they're called trader cards, but like, you know, just predicting the future. And I don't mess with that mess. I'm more of a traditional girl. I just want to heal internally. I'm not trying to play with magic. If that's your cup of tea, then that's your cup of tea. But it's just not my cup of tea, and I don't recommend it. Anyways, that's all the tips and advice I had for you guys. I tried to make it simple and not too complex. But that's just my personal opinion on spirituality. I do believe that it's good, and I do believe it's bad. I just feel like it's all about how you use it. If you use it in a good manner, then it's good for you. But if you use it in a bad manner, then it's bad for you. Like I said, I believe that spirituality is more focusing on your internal world than your external world. And what I mean when I say that is that, you know, when you're feeling unhappy about yourself, you know, you want to go shopping or you want to change something about yourself. But when in reality, what you need to be changing is something inside of you. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and I hope you guys got something for this video. I did enjoy talking to you guys about this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.